Okay, so this is supposedly a practice using my screen share, which I have not done in like since forever ago. If it works out, it may eventually turn into something that I may actually list. Hopefully, it'll work out. Let's see, it's been a hot minute, if you will. So, I want to be able to see what I'm doing. So, bear with me. I'm going to talk about specific ways to live within or below our means. I'm going to try to get this into a bigger picture so that I could even see what I'm working with myself. So, hang on a second. Let's see. All right. All right. Oh, that's very helpful. All right. So here are specific tips to help you, me, myself, all of us live below or within our means. Number one, you'll see create a plan for your money. Hmm. Does that make sense or what? Okay. Obviously, you see that I checked this online here and we're just reading with it. Create a plan for your money. The act of assigning a job for every dollar can be empowering. That does make a heck of a lot of sense. I call it name it and claim it. I use that terminology in terms of saving, for example. Like whenever we want to save certain funds and have certain goals, have a name it and claim it fund. And in this case, to help you live within or below your means, create a plan for your money because the act of assigning a job for every dollar can actually be empowering. That's right. You're the boss. You're telling the money how to work for you. It's not telling you how to work for you. I like that. And how many times have I mentioned automating savings? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's kind of like a set it and forget it. Be realistic as to what you can save and set yourself on an automated savings plan. And this is important. Pay yourself. Yes, yes, you're important too. And it says here to live off one income if possible. Interesting. How many of you can do that? That's a very interesting point here. Now, number five, which is always my favorite number here, it says look for ways to lower your discretionary expenses. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good one. You know why? Discretionary expenses are expenses that, well, basically you have your wiggle room with. Unlike, let's say, so-called fixed expenses like mortgage, rent, utilities, things that absolutely you have to work with a certain number. You see where I'm going with that? But the other numbers are discretionary numbers, numbers that you have wiggle room with. This is really, in a way, a test of frugality muscles. Okay. It's really like a test of, well, are you going to cave into temptation or not? Next, number six, reflect on your financial habits. This is interesting. Do we ever think about how we spend our money? What type of habits do we have? Are we impulse shoppers? Do we have to cave into, let's see, some people, I don't know, they shop just to fill some sort of an emotional void? We have to know. It really does pay to take that time to reflect on our financial habits. Okay, driving used. Well, I'm assuming it's about to talk about driving a used car. Okay, well, that seems pretty self-explanatory. And find ways, of course, it says here, number eight, to pay less interest. That's true. By paying, how do you pay less interest? Well, you look for things that cost less interest or avoid having to pay for anything that involves paying interest, for example, like with your credit cards, for example. If you could get that, like, like seriously, if you could just avoid the credit card trap and pay them off quickly and not fall into that rabbit hole of credit card debt. That's not a great place to be. Now I'm going to bear with me a second. I'm going to try to exit full screen. Okay, interesting. That should be good. And yeah, so let's see what else. Listen, like I said, this was a bit of an experiment, but at least, we talked about some ways to live within our means, and hopefully it'll work out. I thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks for bearing with me. And it was fun going over those specific steps to live within our means. Have a great day, everybody. Take good care of yourself and your lovely family.